Champions League Round 2 predictions with Thogdad. You're back. You've got the Juventus shirt on. What a story they had in the league on the weekend. We'll get into that. How are you feeling? You good?
I'm feeling great, Theo, and I've got a smile on my boat race. Do you know why?
Why is that?
18 points to me last week. 14 points. Those are good scores. We know what we're doing.
I am going extra hard in these predictions to win back my... Wait, were you doing points this year in Champions League?
Yeah, we are.
Yeah, okay,
because
fine.
I'm winning. That's why we're doing points.
Right, I'm going to beat you this week, but first we need 15,000 likes, and I'll go to 2 Champions League matches this week. If we don't, I'm cancelling the flights. I'm not bothering. I'm going to bed. I'm sleeping. I'm doing no videos.
Let's start with Victoria Pilsen against Inter Milan, Theo. Two sides who lost last week. Now Victoria could be the whipping boys of this tournament. Yeah. They got battered, smashed by Barcelona, Theo.
Dad, they can't compete. And in the first half against Barca, it was only 1-0.
Yeah.
Then Lewandowski turned it on. 5-1 at full time. I simply don't even back them at home to Inter. They're not good enough for the Champions League. 2-0 Inter. Even their own manager after the Barca game came out and said, you can't defend against Lewandowski in the box. He said it's undefendable.
Theo, Inter Milan, though, they lost, didn't they, to Bayern Munich at home? Not a good result.
And I think they'll finally end Lautaro's goal drought here, because if he doesn't, then you can't score against Farmers. You can't score against anyone.
And I agree, Theo, 2-0. Sporting Club do Portugal against Tottenham Hotspur. Two teams who won last week and didn't concede a single goal, Theo. What do we think about that?
It's a madness. I can't believe they turned up like that against Frankfurt. Frankfurt look finished though, right?
Oh, they look appalling, Theo.
I don't understand it, but we'll get onto them when they play a match. Let's give all credit to Sporting de Portugal. The way they turned up with Marcus Edwards, Gonçalves and Trincao as the front three. They play wing-back system. It's quality. In the last 2 games, they've scored 7 goals, conceded 0. Do we need to respect them more?
We do, Theo. Trincao, I can't believe Barcelona let him go.
And Wolves.
We're now going to talk about a Richarlison bullet header. Yeah. Forget the Thogdad bullet headers and the Liz Truss bullet headers.
Oh, God.
Richarlison came on, Theo. I think there was only 3 shots on target in the whole game. 2 of them were his. He was clinical. What a plur.
Against Marseille, it took them 76 minutes to score. But when they did, they proved their quality. They got a brace. I'm going for a tight Spurs 2-1 win, but it wouldn't surprise me if Marcus Edwards drops a masterclass and they get a draw.
I think this is going to be a surprise, this game.
I backed Marseille for a draw against Tottenham. Everyone laughed at me.
Yeah.
And it nearly happened. If it wasn't for the red card, it would have been a different story.
I'm going to go for a 1-1 draw here. I think it's going to be a tight game. Maybe 0-0 at half-time. Breakaway goal from probably Heung-min Son.
Yeah.
But I think Sporting will just grab it from somewhere. Liverpool against Ajax of Amsterdam. 2 teams who can realistically win this tournament. Stop laughing, because Liverpool against Napoli were quite shocking. What was Joe Gomez doing for that first half?
He's had a shocker and he's lost a lot of faith in the manager, Jurgen Klopp. I don't know if they can replace him for this match, but they need to, or sort something out on the training ground. There's a lot of problems at Liverpool right now, and they've had their fair share of mess-ups so far this season. Surely, after the break of not playing on the weekend, working hard on the training ground, they should win at home to Ajax and finally get 3 points on their Champions League tally.
One of my Liverpool friends said that was the worst performance he's ever seen any Liverpool team have.
What's happened to Mo Salah, by the way?
Do you know what? What I'm going to say to you is don't bet against Liverpool.
No,
all teams are allowed to have a bad patch,
Yeah.
but you don't want to be playing Ajax, do you, Theo? They just smashed other British opposition, Rangers, didn't they?
4-0, and in the Dutch league, last out 5-0.
Yeah.
9 goals in their last 2 games. Honestly, they're pissing the league, and they've got a great team as well. Bergwijn smashing it, the new signing, and you feel like half the team's gone to United. But it's Schroeder's biggest challenge facing Jurgen Klopp at Anfield. Can he still come out with points? I'm not too sure.
And that is the key word, Anfield.
Yeah.
That is a fortress on the European nights. And for that reason, I think Liverpool are going to turn up. Luis Diaz, Theo, is a superb footballer.
Yeah,
you heard
amazing.
it from me.
Of course he is.
And he's going to show up, and Liverpool are going to win 2-1.
And do you know what? I think it's finally Salah's time to turn up as well. This could be the time they needed off. And if they come back and smash it, they could start to build momentum here. And we could start to see the old Liverpool. Liverpool 3... Ajax Amsterdam 2.
Wow.
And it wouldn't surprise me a 5-goal thriller too. And we're going to be checking points as well, so I'm going to try to keep up with you.
Bayern Munich against FC Barcelona. What a game. This is another 2 teams who can win this tournament. Now, Bayern Munich, Theo, they beat Inter Milan at the San Siro. And Leroy Sané, did you see his goal? He took it so well.
Yeah, Gnabry, Sané, Musiala, they've got quality to go out and win this today. And we've not even mentioned the main one, Sadio Mane. He's got a point to prove. This is the big storyline of the week, right? Probably the biggest match. And it is because Lewandowski is making a swift return to Allianz Arena with a Barca team who are smashing it in La Liga. They've won 4 games, only drawn once. It's fair to say they've actually got better form than Bayern Munich, who are 3 wins, 3 draws in. They're not even doing well in the league table. So Could we see an upset here, Dad?
No, we couldn't, Theo.
Why?
No, Lewandowski is an absolute phenomenon. Now, I know it was against Pilsen, Theo, but he took his goals superbly, didn't he?
Yeah.
But I want to say, did you see that last goal for Barcelona? Dembele floated crossover top.
Yes.
Ferran Torres finished. What a superb goal.
Dad, they've got 3 forwards that will smash it against anyone.
Yes.
And let's not forget, they've kept up with the biggest teams already. A 3-3 draw against Man City. I know it was a charity match, but still proving it. Ousmane Dembele back on form. Pilsen was a bit of a warm-up game for this, shall we say. They are looking good, probably better than Bayern Munich. We can't deny they've got a better chance to beat them than any time before.
I don't know what you describe as an upset in this game, Theo, because it's 2 superb teams who on their day play wonderful football. I'm going for a 2-2 draw. I think there'll be goals, excitement, twists and turns.
That's funny because I'm also going for a 2-2 draw.
No.
You've been reading my notes, Dog.
I thought you'd go for a Bayern Munich win.
I've got a feeling there's going to be an upset, and in fact, I'm going. So watch out for the vlog. Have notifications on the channel because this could be the biggest game of the year so far.
Oh, and by the way, well done on 1 million subscribers.
Oh yeah, we don't really talk about that.
FC Porto against Club Bruges. I didn't even know where it is. It's in Belgium. Now, these are 2 clubs from smaller European leagues. Now, Porto against Atletico Madrid last week, Theo. I turned it off after 90 minutes. 0-0. Did anything happen in extra time?
Dad, stop being a mug. You know exactly what happened.
Go on, tell me what happened.
Only 3 goals and red cards. All sorts happened.
I missed all that, but Taremi, how did he do?
Oh, yeah, he got sent off for diving. 10 men Porto come back with an equaliser, limbs everywhere. There's like a minute left of extra time. We're past extra time actually at this point, but the ref allows play to continue. And Griezmann off the bench at the back post scores the winner. And I feel bad for Porto because they showed real fight.
I think of these 2 teams as home teams in Europe. They've got great records on their own grounds. I'm going to go for Porto to win 1-0.
Wow. I'm going to back Porto as well, but I think a few more goals. FC Porto 2, Club Brugge 1.
Olympique Marseille against Eintracht Frankfurt. 2 teams who lost last week without scoring, but it's at Marseille. You've been to the ground, Theo. What an atmosphere.
Yeah, what an atmosphere. And they turned up to Tottenham in numbers. There were fireworks flying into the home end. There were scraps outside the ground. Honestly, the fans turned up, and the players did for 76 minutes until there was a red card and 2 goals from Richarlison. But I have confidence in the Frenchmen that they kick on here against Frankfurt because the Germans look battered and weak. They just lost 1-0 to Wolfsburg. They lost in Europe to Sporting at home 3-0. 180 minutes at home and they don't score 1 goal. We're talking about European champions right now.
My mate Callum is a big Marseille fan and he's very confident about this game, isn't he, Theo? Now, Eintracht Frankfurt, I don't know. It's not happening at the moment. I only see a home win. I'm going 2-0.
When you sell your best players and you struggle to keep the rest motivated, you will see weaknesses. And I think 2-1.
Bayer Leverkusen against Atletico Madrid. Now, Leverkusen got off to a poor start. They went to Bruges in Belgium and they lost 1-0. So they've got to get something here, Theo.
No, for sure. Leverkusen are really struggling. Die Werkself found it tough with Moussa Diaby and Callum Hudson-Odoi not scoring, especially like Diaby was last season. It just doesn't connect. They've got Frimpong as well. They've got a few of the English boys. They need to figure it out. While Simeone had absolute scenes and they had to rely on 63rd minute Antoine Griezmann. He always seems to come on in that. Yeah. It's crazy. And he scored the winner with his bleached hair. And it might be down to him or Morata to do it again. Morata's in my fantasy team, so I have faith because Leverkusen are awful. They concede goals for fun.
Theo, I always think of Atletico as a low-scoring team, but they actually won 4-1 at the weekend in the league, so there's confidence there. I think this will be a 1-0 victory to the Spaniards.
I also think this is 1-0 to Atletico. So although they've had loads of goals recently, we both go for a low-scoring match again. That's what Simeone does.
Shakhtar Donetsk against Celtic of Glasgow, Theo, at a neutral ground. I think this has been played in Warsaw. Now, Shakhtar, I can't believe they beat Leipzig 4-1.
They are on form. And with wonder kid Mudryk, I told you about him in the game week 1 predictions. He went and got a goal and assist and smashed it down that left wing. With the lads that they've got, they have a great system in place. And it surprises me with all the distractions in the league that they actually do look better than teams like Liverpool right now.
That is amazing,
mad,
Theo.
right?
Yeah, now
the league's gone mad.
It's true that, Theo. I watched the Celtic game and they missed a couple of key chances. You were at the game, Theo.
Yeah, so Celtic started well against Real Madrid, held them out for the whole of the first half. You're thinking they could have won that. They had the best chance of the game in the first half. But it was unfortunate when Real Madrid once again looked like the best team in the world. Vinny Jr. is probably the quickest footballer you will ever watch live. Going to Warsaw, you know, it's a new home match for Shakhtar. They filled it out. It's going to be a good atmosphere. I'm still going to back Shakhtar to win this. I think they proved more to me in the first leg What about you?
And I agree with you totally, Theo. I think there's something in the air in Ukraine at the moment. That's all I'll say. Shakhtar 2, Celtic 1.
Yeah, I've also gone 2-1. It wouldn't surprise me if Celtic turn up and Jota gets a goal. We know they've done it against Rangers. They battered them at home. If they go to Warsaw and smash it, maybe a 2-2 draw. But I agree with you on a 2-1. Tight win for the Ukrainians.
AC Milan against Dinamo Zagreb, Theo. Now, AC Milan went to Austria, got a point against Salzburg. Not a bad result, that, for me. I got that one absolutely right.
I know you got it right.
It's a hard place to go.
Yeah, it's not easy, and Milan will be starving to get their first 3 points in Europe now.
That is true, Theo, but what about Dinamo Zagreb? The shock of Matchday
Blue
1.
Boys.
They beat Chelsea, and that goal from Orsic, he ran half the length of the pitch.
They've beaten another English team. They've got a great record for that. The Blue Boys beat the Blue Boys. This time, they're facing the Red Boys away from home in Italy, the San Siro iconic stadium. I don't think Zagreb's form will continue.
I think it'll be a tight game as well, and I agree with you totally. 2-0.
We are just agreeing today.
I know, I'm sorry about that.
Let's see how one of we get right. Let's see our ball knowledge being tested here.
Glasgow Rangers against Napoli, Theo. Rangers well beaten by Ajax. I think 1 shot on target, 24% possession.
Yeah.
They were second best. What's going to happen here, Theo?
They've had a break because of the Queen passing away. They've not played on the weekend, and they won't have away fans with Napoli there. So it's going to be interesting under weird circumstances. It's fair to say Rangers have had a bad run of form. Napoli are top of the Serie A, smashing it. They've got one of the best footballers in the world up and coming called Kovica, Georgian winger. If you're a Rangers fan, you're going to the game, watch out for him. He could be a problem. You might need someone to kick him early doors. I think it's fair to say that Napoli have a stronger 11 and they'll be up for it. I think they're going to win 3-1.
Wow, big shout, Theo. Now for Napoli, they destroyed Liverpool 4-1. I don't think they could believe what was happening. Zelinski, we said watch out for him. He got 2 goals. European nights at Ibrox are incredible, and the crowd will lift Rangers, but they're playing Napoli. I think this will be Rangers 1, Napoli 2.
Rangers 1, Napoli 2.
Yes.
That's tied to what I'm going for. We've given our predictions. Tell us in the comments, how do you think you'll do?
Chelsea against Rb Salzburg.
Yes.
Theo, we know what happened last week. Chelsea lost, and they lost their manager. Tuchel is gone, and Harry Potter's come in. Is there going to be a new manager bounce here?
We love Harry Potter, don't we?
We do, actually, yeah.
Well, he smashed it at Brighton.
Yes, he did.
He's not had long on the training ground, but one thing he does need to make work is Aubameyang, and it's his Stamford Bridge debut.
But he had a goal disallowed in the first match day, Theo.
Yeah, I'm not denying that he'll be a good signing for Chelsea, but we need to make sure that it goes well in this game. They can't have another Zagreb. That can't run.
RB Salzburg at home, you've got to win that. You've got to win it comfortably.
You do.
But I agree with what you're saying, Theo. Who's going to score the goals?
Kai Havertz, Mason Mount.
Yeah.
Are they going to click into gear under Graham Potter like they didn't this season under Tuchel? I think that's part of the reason Ted Bowley sacked the manager. He wants more contributions from his forward attacking players. I'm going to go for a 2-0 win. I think they will create. I'm hoping for the best out of a player like Reece James. And I think Aubameyang will score at home.
I should go for 2 or 3-0, but I think it's going to be tight. I don't have confidence in Chelsea's front line at the moment. I'm going to say 1-0, Theo.
1-0. Okay, but both Chelsea wins.
Yes. Real Madrid against RB Leipzig, Theo. We've already talked about Real Madrid. They were superb in the second half against Celtic.
A joke.
This could be a cricket score, couldn't it?
When they turn it on, they are the best team in the world. The way I watched them play against Celtic was like they're going to win another European trophy, and I'm talking the Champions League. I know Benzema's injured for this match, but they're at home, and Rodrigo smashed it last time out in the Spanish league, so I think they've got the replacements. They've just got so much stability with David Alaba and Rudiger at the back.
RB Leipzig, we know they lost 4-1 to Shakhtar Donetsk. Shakhtar Donetsk, I think, had 5 shots on target. 4 of them went in the net. Otherwise, it was quite a close game. 3-0, but it could be 4 or 5.
Wow, we agree again.
I know.
That is madness. I've got to say, when you've got Modric in your team and he's fit, he's probably the best central midfielder in the world.
37 years old. He's almost my age. FC Copenhagen against Sevilla. 2 teams who were smashed on the opening match day. Who's going to win here, Theo?
Copenhagen didn't prove much in their 3-0 loss to Dortmund. And Dortmund went on to lose in the Bundesliga. I'm just going to sit on the fence here and go for a 1-1 draw. I don't think both of them have enough in it to win it.
Theo, have you looked at my notes? Because I agree with you. I'm just going to go for a 1-1 draw.
This is madness.
Juventus against Benfica. Some people think that Juventus can win this tournament. Now, they lost to PSG.
Who said that?
I did. But they came quite close. Weston McKennie got a late goal, but it turned out to be a consolation.
I want to talk about the most recent fixture in the league against Salernitana.
Oh my goodness,
what a story of full time. Milik scores the winner. Extra time, Limbs. Everyone's loving it. They're celebrating. They maybe celebrated a bit too much with the fans. So he was on a booking, got booked again, got red card. He's gone down the tunnel. VAR comes into play. All the players start kicking off. The Salernitana lads getting right in the face of the Juve boys. Ref goes over eventually, disallows the goal. He's disallowed a goal, which the player celebrated and got a red card for. And then it all kicks off. Massive brawl. Salernitana players get sent off. Cuadrado sent off. Allegri sent off. And then the play kicks on and it's 2-2 full time. That is a Juve shambles.
You play Maccabi Haifa at home, you expect to win, and they did 2-0.
You've got to win what's in front of you.
You do, Theo. I agree. But Juventus, I think they're the favourites here.
I think you're disinterpreting the Portugueses.
Is that a word?
Yeah, well, maybe it is. Maybe it's not. Juve won, Benfica won.
Wow.
Yeah, Jean-Mario masterclass.
That is a shock, Theo. I can't speak after that. I think Juventus to win 1-0. Maccabi Haifa against Paris Saint-Germain. The Parisians are on their way to Israel and they expect to win, Theo.
Of course they do. Best unbeaten run out of anyone else in the Champions League.
Let's talk again about Kylian Mbappe, Theo. He got 2 goals against Juventus and both of them were just superb strikes.
Unbelievable. The whole front three, Messi linking play. Neymar's back to his best.
That
Kylian
assist
Mbappe.
for the first goal.
Yeah, it's a joke. It's a joke. And it's not an easy place to go, Israel.
Yeah.
They're going to fly in. Everyone's going to try and get in their face. Trying to get into the stadium, there's probably going to be all sorts of pyros and flares. Trying to play football around that atmosphere will not be easy. I think PSG have just cracked the code this season. 18 unbeaten in a row, more than anybody else. It's going to be 0-0 for a long stretch of that match, and then they run away with it at the end, 2-0.
Theo, I reckon there could be a lot of goals here. I'm going to stick with 3. Haifa 0, PSG 3.
I'll be tuning in, though. I'll be looking to... It could be an upset.
I would love to go to that game.
Yeah, one day.
Manchester City against Borussia Dortmund. Erling Haaland's going to love going to his old club, and Jude Bellingham is going to love going back to England, Theo.
Yeah, Dortmund lost 3-0 to Leipzig last time out. Doesn't bring me confidence. Their team weakened. I think Haaland will score 3-1 City, especially because they're rested up.
I don't believe what's just happened because I totally agree. 3-1 to Man
What?
City. They're just too good, Theo.
You know what? I'm actually annoyed. We keep agreeing. I want 15,000 likes or I'm not going to any games this weekend. You're a mug. See you all later. I'm ending it. I'm fuming. Bye-bye.
See ya.